In the criminal justice system, the people,
Pimps, addicts, thieves, bums, winos, girls who can't keep an address, and men who don't care,
are represented by two separate yet equally important groups.
A cop, a flatfoot, a bull, a dick, John Law, you're the fuzz, the heat, you're poison, you're trouble, you're bad news.
These are their stories.
Came from a California fireman on Twitter into our show. You can always reach us on Twitter. I'm at Mark T. Live. And if you want to drop a line to the show, you can always do so. themarkthompsonshow@gmail.com. So happy to look at whatever stories you push us and also respond to any of the questions you have.
I've received a lot of positive letters.
Yeah. InNOut bans employees from wearing masks. InNOut did not respond to a request to comment on a mask policy that they've just begun. Quote, "We are introducing new mask guidelines that emphasize the importance of customer service and the ability to show our associates smiles and other facial features while considering the health and well-being of all individuals. We believe this policy will also help to promote clear and effective communication both with our customers and among our associates." The policy goes on, this is, bans employees from wearing masks unless the worker has a valid medical reason and a note which describes that reason.
Good day, sir.
Exactly.
Since when do you need a doctor's note to wear a mask?
Since you started working at InNOut.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal.
That's what they said. This is, now, I actually, when I go into these places, and you do go into these fast food places and find employees, even Starbucks, wearing masks. I mean, not to a person, but they are there wearing masks. I think that's kind of a cool thing. I mean,
I do too.
By the way, leave aside COVID, I just kind of like it. You know, you're not spraying all over my food or whatever.
Right.
I mean, you know, people.
Who wants people breathing on their stuff? Right.
InNOut says masks are not in, they're out. And the Centers for Disease Control considers mask wearing a valid strategy to prevent the spread of airborne diseases, so it doesn't necessarily track, but so it goes. There is a lawsuit in Los Gatos. A woman is taking on a Thai restaurant. Dragon Balls is what the dish is called. Dragon Balls at this Los Gatos Thai restaurant is such a spicy dish that they caused chemical burns to this woman, she says. She claims that the appetizer, called Dragon Balls, was so spicy, she suffered chemical burns to her vocal cords, esophagus, and the inside of her right nostril.
Oh, man.
She says that her throat and voice have been damaged by this appetizer at the coup d'etat, and she's incurred permanent injuries and will forever be damaged, according to the lawsuit. She's suing the downtown Los Gatos restaurant and its owner, along with the chef who cooked the item. She's also including the waitress who took her order.
What?
What's in the Dragon Balls?
And anyone at the restaurant that day or before who in any way, quote, influenced, designed, prepared, or participated in creating the Dragon Ball dish. She went to dinner with a friend at the downtown North Santa Cruz Avenue restaurant.
Okay.
They ordered appetizers, including Dragon Balls. The dish is on the restaurant's website. It's there now as spicy chicken balls with mint, shallot, green, cilantro, kaffir lime leaf, and chili. It's $11, by the way. If you get it in order, you get extra points. Mm-hmm. Well, it's mint, shallot, green onion, cilantro, kaffir lime leaf, and chili. $11. The dish was advertised as spicy. So Ms. Walia, who is the plaintiff in this case, asked her server to have it made with less spice, as she does not tolerate spicy foods. The server said that they would have the chef make them less spicy.
Instead,
Well-
they made it more spicy.
In the complaint, she alleges, I should say, that almost immediately after she began eating the Dragon Balls, she felt her entire mouth, the roof of her mouth, her tongue, her throat, her nose burn like fire.
Ouch.
Her eyes and nose watered, Kim. She began coughing.
Why are you yelling?
She started to lose her voice, was diagnosed later with internal chemical burns from the chilies in the Dragon Balls. A supervisor at Gatos Thai said that the restaurant had never previously had a patron say that they've been burned by a dish and needing medical attention. Dragon Balls are spicy, said the supervisor, but, quote, we do not use too much chili spice in Dragon Balls. But, maybe this is an important part of this case, it is not possible for the appetizer to be made in a, quote, mild version because the chili is inside the balls, according to the supervisor. If a patron wants to order Dragon Balls but says they cannot handle spicy foods, they are typically encouraged to order something else.
Right.
What?
So what you end up with, and that's the reason that the waitress is included here, is a situation in which you need the wait person to say, hey, you don't want this dish.
What he's got going here is a situation.
It's a situation. So it might be more complicated, this case, than meets the eye. I mean, what you and I might look at it and go, this is stupid. But the reality is, if there's real damage here, maybe somebody is at fault. The lawsuit says that the restaurant's owner, chef, server, and others involved with this appetizer, quote, failed to take precautions by consulting with health officials or emergency service personnel regarding the risks associated with serving too much Thai chili in an appetizer like Dragon Balls. So it's
all there, black and white,
is.
clear as crystal.
Yeah, I think on this one it might be there black and white in some sense. I don't know. Meantime, on the other side of town in Law and Disorder, 3 banks have been robbed by what they're calling the Sticky Note Bandit, dressed as a woman. I love that plan. I really,
Ooh, it's a wild idea.
I
but it just
really
might
do
work.
endorse the dressing as a woman if you're a guy and you want to hold up a bank. A man dressed as a woman walked into 3 Texas banks this month and handed tellers sticky notes, threatening and demanding cash.
Wait, how do
That's
we
how we-
know this is a man dressed as a woman? How do we know this is just not a woman?
I don't think it was a very sophisticated disguise, is my guess.
The hair is odd,
I think
but
on
there's
close-up.
boobs. There's boobs.
Um,
So I'm just
well,
saying. Like,
I think the disguise, as I say, was not, it wasn't a Hollywood quality. I think, it was a crude disguise, more to disguise identity perhaps than gender. Although,
all right.
Anyway, Texas officials described the suspect as 5'8" black man with a thin to medium build. Actually, sounds like an attractive woman.
Right?
Yeah. During the last 2 robberies, he wore a black wig, black sunglasses, a blue medical mask, a green woman's style sweater, a black woman's ballet flats, and carried a black purse. Stop, you're turning me on.
What?
He then allegedly handed the tellers threatening notes demanding cash. Then the teller walked away from the counter. They locked themselves in the back room for safety, apparently, in the last of the 3 robberies. The suspect remained in the bank lobby for a short time, then fled the scene on foot without any money. So, Texas authorities and the FBI are on this one.
Y'all can all go to hell, and I'm going back to Texas.
That's right. Well, the Sticky Note Bandit. And finally, let me tell you of this. a major settlement, and I've been wanting to tell you this story for a couple of weeks, actually, just to keep running out of time. A retired Army colonel has reached a court settlement of nearly $1 million in a sexual assault lawsuit against Air Force General John Hyten, who served as vice chairman of the Joint Chiefs. This is a big deal. The settlement with the U.S. government ends more than 4 years of investigations, reviews, and congressional digging into the matter, which delayed but ultimately did not defeat Hyten's nomination for vice chairman in 2019. Again, this is someone who was nominated as the vice chair of the Joint Chiefs. Served 2 years. Didn't seek a second term after that. Army Colonel Catherine Splestower, who served as Hyten's aide in 2017, filed this lawsuit. And in the settlement, which was reached in U.S. District Court, the federal government is going to pay her $975,000.
What?
Close to $1 million because of, again, this is a sexual assault case. This is not sexual harassment. This is sexual assault. In an interview with the Associated Press in 2019, Splestower, said that Hyten subjected her to a series of unwanted sexual advances by kissing, hugging, and rubbing up against her in 2017 while she was one of his top aides. She said she repeatedly pushed him away, told him to stop, that he tried to derail her military career after she rebuffed him. He vigorously denies all of this. He, at that confirmation hearing for his Joint Chiefs appointment, had his wife seated behind him. And by the way, Splestower, who was the assistant, was looking on from a short distance away. An internal investigation there at the Air Force determined that there was insufficient evidence to charge him or recommend discipline. And a senior Air Force official said at the time that investigations also found no evidence of Splestower lying. So that was kind of a meh investigation, is what you learn. The number of reported sexual assaults in the military has increased nearly every year since 2006, and while the services have made inroads in making it easier and safer for service members to come forward, they suggest here, it still remains a highly unreported crime. Look, so they settle for $1 million. The problem with, and it's a huge problem, with the R word in the military, I can't say it because I'll get demonetized. I might be demonetized just based on reading the story and relating it to you. Sorry about that, but you know what it is, the extreme sexual violence. The incidents of that are off the charts in the military. And one of the reasons is there's no one to complain to. You can't complain to your supervisor because oftentimes your supervisor is the perpetrator. You can't complain to anybody else who might be at your supervisor's level because they're all in league together. I mean, there really is a sense that you are alone. It's a horrible both feeling and also predicament legally to be in because all of your legal recourse is essentially cut off to you. So when they say the Air Force investigated and they could find no evidence, I mean, it's almost laughable, isn't it? You guys investigating yourselves? It's the same thing you look at police commissions or medical commissions. You know, when these are situations that require some kind of outside objective investigation, and they don't get it. So some of the reforms, to be fair, have suggested that there be outside parties and outside panels with investigatory powers. But for the most part, there haven't been significant inroads in that area. I think it's a reminder of how intense an environment you can face and how women particularly can be victims of all sorts of both sexual harassment and, in this case, potentially sexual assault. They settle for close to $1 million. That's Law and Disorder for today.
Tune in again next time for more Law and Disorder on The Mark Thompson Show.
All right, that's it. Let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out there.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.